This is Blake Temez with the Blake Temez podcast, where I speak as a Catholic layman to Catholic laymen about missional living, wisdom cultivation, and legacy building in service of Christ and his bride, the Church. Thanks for being here. It can be really effective for someone's first experience with the Church to be an experience of service or missionary activity. And this might seem counterintuitive to many because oftentimes our continua of development and formation have service and ministry or missionary activity at the far end of the spectrum, with other more internal, like learning events, being near to the beginning. And I think that mindset comes from the sense that, well, if you're going to be sending somebody out to act in the name of the Church, to be a minister or a missionary, you want to ensure that they're well formed so that they know how to serve well, how that service fits into their vocation as a Christian, and all of those things. And that makes a lot of sense, and there's truth in it. However, many have noted that at present, those who are younger, especially amongst the millennial generation, but I believe that this holds true for the more recent generations as well, there is this attachment to making the world a better place, to making an impact, to contributing to something through the use of one's talents and having those talents be recognized. And all of those things can be more easily accomplished in the context of a service opportunity or missionary event of some kind, as opposed to trying to engage someone with the life of the Church and telling them that their one and only starting place can be the classroom, right? Or the Sunday school class, or whatever that might look like. So to make things a little bit more concrete, what I'm saying is, if your parish has a recurring service opportunity like direct ministry to the homeless of some kind, or something related to serving kids who are at risk at a local shelter or development center or resource center, whatever that might look like, things like soup kitchens as well, you name it, there are a lot of opportunities out there. And if your church has something like that already set up, that could be a great thing to invite newcomers to as an introductory experience to the life of the church. It gives them a sense of the church's commitment to the well-being of other people in the community, whether or not they belong to the church or are even Catholic. And it also hits those other points I mentioned earlier about giving them an opportunity to make an impact, to be recognized in their talents and how their talents apply to bettering the situations of other people. And so it can be a real win-win in terms of the church's ability to maintain ministries of that sort with the help of both veteran members as well as newcomers, and a win for the newcomer who can have a fulfilling experience of service while being introduced to the church. And I encourage you to try that out, to shift your mindset if you've had it in the way, which is very common, right, where ministry is on the far end and say to the far end of the spectrum, with like learning experiences being on the other end of the spectrum. And take a chance and promote those experiences of service and ministry as introductory, being sure that you have pathways and pipelines for people to make it from one experience to the next, so that that service experience can lead them to a meaningful educational experience, a more in-depth network, or rather, like place in the network within the parish, those social relationships, and making sure that whatever experience someone has, that there's always a next step for them to take, that there's an additional invitation or set of invitations that let them know that there is more for them to get into, that there's deeper pathways for them to explore when it comes to other ways to serve or deepening their spirituality, and just always presenting this rich environment of opportunities, but highlighting some great places to start so that there's not the experience of overwhelm as well. So that balance of opportunity and also clarity of priority of what is a good place to get started. So I hope that that is a good practical reflection, something that you can apply in your work as a mentor or a missionary or a minister, especially with young men. I think about those service opportunities that involve manual labor of some kind, and those being rare opportunities for boys and men to demonstrate competence, to develop competence in those realms of manual skill, in ways that are associated with the church. Creating that positive association in their minds between masculine values and priorities related to manual competence and their participation in the life of the church. So there's another avenue to pursue with this as well. So that's all for now. Thank you for your time and attention as always, and God bless you in all your efforts. Peace. If you're a young Catholic man or a mentor, missionary, or minister who works with them, or even just a concerned figure in their life, a parent, uncle, whoever it might be on the lookout for the release of a short guide that I'm putting together called Brothers by Blood: How to Forge a New Path for Catholic Manhood. In it, I'll expand on some of the topics in this podcast and give you some points of reflection to see about how you can be a part of a movement that empowers men and brings them to their full potential for their sake and also for the benefit of the church and, by extension, the benefit of all society. So, again, thank you for being a part of this, and look out for more information about the release of my guide in episodes to come.